Hello and welcome to Sports Federation TV. I'm Linyukta Chetty and I'll be your host tonight. This is the show that showcases all the sports in Western Cape, and tonight will be no different. We've got two exciting sports joining us. One is rowing and the other is squash. And a special mention for Bashus. Thank you for coming on board with us. Thank you for supporting Sports Federation TV. First up, two young athletes from the sport of rowing. Hello, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
And you are?
I'm Akeen. I'm a Rondebosch rower, and I'm part of the boys in yellow caps.
And?
I'm Christian. I'm also a Rondebosch rower. I'm also a part of the boys in yellow caps.
Okay, so you've had quite an interesting morning.
Yes, it was full of excitement.
Okay, so you started off with an event this morning. Hey.
We rowed the half marathon for the two oceans, which was 21 kilometers.
21 kilometers. At what time this morning?
6 o'clock.
6. And an impressive time?
His time.
I got a relatively impressive time, but it was a bit difficult whilst rowing on the show.
Okay. Tell us how you got involved in the sport of rowing.
I first started to try and improve my rugby for rugby fitness, but then after the first season of rowing, it kind of overtook anything that I wanted to do. It was my passion at first sight, and I worked as hard as I could from there.
And with you?
I started doing it because it looked very interesting and it seemed like a very fun sport to try out, and then ended up being a fun sport to try out.
So your first exposure to the sport of rowing, did it come from school?
It was a school event. We were talked to by the captain of rowing at the time, and the head coach of rowing, and he came down to our prep school and spoke about rowing, and it seemed very interesting. Came back to our parents and told them all about it.
And which school do you attend currently?
Rondebosch boys.
They're both Rondebosch boys.
Both of you at Rondebosch
Yes.
boys. Okay, so you said that it started off first as exercise for another sport. Rowing generally, is it something that people would do just for fitness?
Usually that's what people start out doing, unless if they have rowing as a background in their family, because it's not one of the most sought out sports in the schools at the moment, but it is growing quite fast.
I'll know. Fun fact about that: it's the biggest growing schoolboy sport in the world at the moment.
In the world, you
In the
say?
world, in the world.
Okay.
We do have we know it's in South Africa, but there's also some specs saying the world.
So people do it socially and then they end up getting bitten by the bug, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, rowing's a very fun and social sport.
So why would you recommend it as a form of exercise even?
It teaches you how to take care of yourself. You row so much that you need to focus on your work even more, your schoolwork even more, because you don't have too much time. You learn how to eat well and sleep well, and diets and all great lessons to learn.
And how often do you have to train when you compete on your level?
Well, in our age group, under 16, we train every single day.
Every single day?
Every single day, sometimes in the morning, sometimes in the afternoon.
Why do you love the sport?
Mainly the challenge it has, because whenever you work hard in a session, you know that next time you do the same session, you'll go much faster. So you just continue challenging yourself, trying to get that little bit further forward. It's kind of addicting.
Addicting. And just being at ocean or in a water body, or
It's definitely exciting feel. It's as he said, addicting is a word that I would definitely use to describe it. You kind of get hooked on it and you can't get off.
So the yellow caps that you've brought with, that's something special to you. Do you want to share with our viewers why it's so special?
This is the hat we wear whilst rowing, and both of our caps here we've won. Well, in fact, our entire season we've undefeated, and we've been selected to go to England for a ch263 tour, which is the South African Schools Rowing Union, and it's how we are noticed, and the yellow caps are very visible. We use that to promote ourselves.
So you said you've had a very successful season. So you would have excelled then in your provincial levels and then at the national tournament.
Yeah, at the provincial levels, we we came back from a season beforehand where we didn't really win anything, came second most things, and we came back to our first provincial level race, winning by 10 seconds, and then we just built on from there in provincial level, and then our first national level where we went to the Buffalo Regatta up in East London. We won there by 10 seconds again, and from there we just carried on building towards SA Champs, and it was a close race there, but we finally won by 3 seconds there to take the gold.
And now off to the World Champs.
It's not the World Champs. There are 2 regattas that we're being entered for, the Wallingford Regatta and the Bedford Regatta. The Wallingford Regatta is the biggest schoolboy regatta in England, in the UK, sorry. And Bedford is the oldest regatta, which boasts about 1,850 rowers at the event. And
It's the biggest one-day regatta in England.
Is the sport particularly big in England itself?
Very
or does
much
it
so.
have its roots there?
Very much so.
Okay, because I read recently that it's a sport that was, it was a form of naval warfare in ancient times, and that's where the sport comes from.
That's where it's originated.
Okay, so currently you're doing a campaign to raise funds, and this is specifically for the SASRU
For the
event.
SASRU tour,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, how can people assist with that?
You can,
By which means?
We have a Facebook page that has a donate button pinned as the main message of the Facebook page.
It's the Boys in the Yellow Caps.
Boys in the Yellow Caps on Facebook, where they can donate money
For our Two Oceans event, there's a sponsoring.
there's a sponsoring per kilometer for our Two Oceans event, and there's also just a simple donate button if you just want to donate a lump sum.
Okay.
That anything helps. 10 Rand, even 10 Rand helps.
Okay, great. Thank you for joining us. We're going to be talking to 2 other teammates from Boys in the Yellow Caps after the break. So viewers, for your chance to win a case of Bashoes, please stay tuned. After the break, we'll be chatting to 2 more young athletes from the sport of rowing to give us more information on their sport. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. You're watching Sports Federation TV, and we're back with Western Cape Rowing. We've got 2 athletes, also from the team, the Boys in the Yellow Caps, and they're joining us now to give us more information about what's happening with their team. Kyle Henry and Cleve Gilliam are here. Welcome, boys.
Hi, man.
Tell me, how did you get involved in the sport of rowing?
Carl can take this one. He likes to explain it.
Well, see, I tried pretty much every single sport. I've done cricket, I've done all the rugby. In high school, they came in the prep school, grade 7, they came and gave us a whole video and look, this is rowing, come join us. So I went to the open day, and then after the open day, I don't know, I got hooked. It's different, it was fun.
And Claire, for you, what attracted you to the sport?
Same kind of thing. And then I found one of the easier jobs, being a cox. So it means that I sit there on a cold day and they row, and I shout at them and steer the boat, which is quite fun.
So you have the most important job.
One of the most, yeah. Of course, the rowing. Yeah.
You mentioned that there's actually five boys in the team.
Yeah.
I'm only saying boys because of your team name. So there's 5 of you, and the 5th member.
5th member is George. He's on holiday at the moment.
He's on holiday, so he couldn't be here.
Yeah.
Okay, so 5 people in your team. Is that generally how many people it takes to be in a rowing team?
Just in quads, because you get all different types of boats. You can get up to 9 members in a crew, and there'd be an 8 or quad. Oh, sorry, ox. But we race in the cox quad division. You get a coxless quad, but we race in the cox quad. So that's 4 rows and 1 cox.
Okay, so that would be 5 then in your particular discipline.
Yeah.
What are for the people at home who don't know why you would need 5? Can you explain the different roles?
Well, you get in the quad, you get the cox, of course, who's the 5th member. He steers and helps guide us down the course. So when we're going down the course, there's different sections, like the first 250 meters and the last 250, the middle 1K. he'll kind of give us directions of where we are in the course, when we should start rowing harder, when we should lighten up. And then for the stroke where I sit, I set the pace of the boat, how fast we go up and down our slides, how fast we row. And then the number 3, which is a keen, and number 3, sorry, is George. Number 2 is a keen. They are the powerhouse, so they just kick hard and kind of move the boat down the course. And then the bowman, who's number 1, would be Christian. He kind of sets up the boat for us when we take each stroke. So it's kind of nice and smooth going through the water.
So this morning, early this morning, you rowed 21.1 kilometers. That must have been hectic.
It was a lot tougher than I thought it would be. a lot tougher,
so
I'm not gonna lie.
breaking as you said it. So generally though, when you do rowing tournaments, or do you call it tournaments?
Regattas.
yeah.
It's usually a whole day designated to just rowing on the water, and we call it a regatta.
A regatta. Regatta.
Yeah.
That is the event. That's what
Yeah.
it's called. Okay, so when you do the regatta, generally, what kind of distances are we looking at that you have to compete in?
We've got the 2K, which is generally from under 16 and above. And at some regattas we get the 500, and then from under 14 to under 15, you've got 1Ks, because 2K is just a little bit big for them. So, but then if there's a 500 meter regatta, we'll do that. And it also can sometimes be changed due to water shortages, so the dam would be low.
Oh, it's dependent on the
Yeah.
body of water that you're going to row in. And the longest distance you've ever rowed in competitively?
To be 6Ks, yeah.
6Ks.
A heads race,
And that's
we call it.
That's with 8 rows and a cox. It's a big boat.
And 6Ks, what's a good time for 6S?
13 minutes, no, I'm joking. It'd be around 19 minutes would be for our age group would be a pretty good time.
Yeah,
say.
I mean, if you look at their time, then you can, guys, what a tough sport it must be, because it would take a lot of energy and strength to cover that distance, especially as a team. Okay, so you are all currently looking for sponsorship to go to UK for this, the creme de la creme of schoolboy rowing.
Yeah, representing our country.
Yes. How can the public help you with that?
They can visit our Facebook page. It's called the Boys in the Yellow Caps. And if they go onto the Facebook page, there's a nice big donate button there. If they want to go and donate whatever they can, it would be helpful.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Well, you've brought some nice photos, and we'd like to show the viewers your photos so they can feel extra encouraged to sponsor you. So let's have a look. You want to tell us a little bit about what event that was?
Oh, that was a good event. We won that event. Came first in that event at the SA Champs, which was held at Roodeplaat Dam in just outside Pretoria. So George is the far one, closest to Coach Nicholas Muller.
Okay, and that event? Oh, that looks so awesome.
That would be the Buffalo Sprints, or the Buffalo Regatta. We did that, I think, 2 weeks before SA Champs, the other previous photo. That was, I think, the start of the race, when we just started racing.
Yeah, that was...
In which area was that taken?
East London on the Buffalo River.
Buffalo River, East London, okay.
That was... we got a good photo award for that.
Yeah, that was also in Buffalo, also on the Buffalo River in East London. That was just after we finished our race. We just stopped and we weren't exactly celebrating. We were just, tired and sore after a race.
We still won, which is quite nice.
Okay, well, I can see how much you love your sport when you speak about it. So we would like the viewers at home to also have a peek into exactly what a regatta would look like, and you've brought some nice footage for us. So we're going to have a look at a video of rowing right now. So, Kyle and Clev, we wish you all the best with your sport, and may you continue to excel, and may you bring home the gold from that wonderful event that you're going to, your Sasro event in England.
Yeah.
Okay, so right now, folks, we are going to take a break. But before we do that, remember that Bashus is on board with Sports Federation TV. And Bashus is probably Cape Town's favorite cool drink. And to celebrate 120 years of Bashus, we are giving away a case of assorted Bashus cool drinks. In order to win this case of drinks, all you need to do is SMS the word Bashus to 33090. SMS Bashus to 33090 for your chance to win a case of Bashus. And congratulations to last week's winner, Claudia Swinney. Claudia Swinney won that case of Bashus from last week's show. After the break, we'll be back with Western Province Squash. Don't go anywhere.